Welcome to Christian Parenting TV. Again, I'm your host, Christian Monye. Today, we'll be discussing a very important topic: Christian parenting education. Please don't go away. I promise it will worth your time. You see, the objective of Christian parenting education is to help you produce a successor. Not just a successor, but a successor after our kind, after the new birth order. In Genesis chapter 1, from 11 to 12, we saw that everything God created was designed to reproduce after its kind, with its seed in itself. You see, this is God's sustainability plan. Unfortunately, in the body of Christ today, we are seeing the opposite. The holy producing the profane, the sacred producing the secular, the godly producing the ungodly. This is out of order. This breakdown is happening because we have failed to understand that the process of replicating after our kind as human is not just procreation, but it is parenting. Remember, you are not a success until you have produced a successor. This is the part many believers have forgotten. Until we replicate and reproduce after our kind, we have not truly succeeded, no matter the exploit in the marketplace or ministry. There is a difference between procreating in our image and likeness, which is biological, and reproducing after our kind, which is spiritual. The Bible does not say to reproduce in our image and likeness. That is automatic. It commands us to replicate after our kind, the new birth order. And that only happens through parenting. So, what many of us in the body of Christ have done is to procreate in our image and likeness, childbirth, but failed in replicating after our kind, parenting. This has led to failed childbirth mission and stewardship assignment to our children parenting. Thank God for Christian parenting education. It is a tool that will help us to go beyond biological reproduction in our image and likeness to spiritual replication in our kind. That is raising children after the new birth order. Now, where do we start? The starting point is understanding the first 7 years. Let me give you a brief overview. The first 7 years of a child's life is a state of hypnosis, a time when the brain operates at a low frequency called theta, a brain frequency below consciousness. The resultant effect of this is that before a child becomes conscious at 8 years, they are already programmed or scripted. By the time a child turns 8, the blueprint of their life, their fears, their habits, beliefs, self-image, and worldview is already written or scripted. And here is the catch. These fears, beliefs, and habits were installed by others, are not chosen by the child. Do you know what? Children spend the rest of their lives running or living out this installed program, believing it is their will, when in fact they are living out a pre-programmed codes written in their paradigm before they hit consciousness at 8. This is what the Catholics and the Muslims understand that many don't. They have a structured system that help them maximize the first 7 years to indoctrinate children. This is obviously the secret behind their devotion. Until the body of Christ understands and embraces this, we can't guarantee and predict what our children will become tomorrow. Let's talk about optical illusion. Now, after the first 7 years, optical illusion begins to set in. You may ask, what is optical illusion? Look at the diagram on your screen. This visual demonstrates how two people can look at the same image and see different things. This is what happens between parents and children after the first 7 years. As a matter of fact, this is what many parents are struggling with currently. What they don't realize is that they and their children are now living in two different worlds. What seems okay to a child may seem wrong to the parents because their perspectives now differ. This is often where conflict begins. Now, the implication of this is within the first 7 years, you are in control. But after the first 7 years, your child is in control. If you don't understand this, you will be fighting with your child every day to gain back control. If you miss this foundational stage, you may struggle to produce a successor. Why? Because the first 7 years is when the scripting happens. Everything after that is rescripting, reprogramming, restoring, and repair. This involves hard work, a lot of effort, diligence, patience, prayers, and training is involved. I believe this is where many Christian parents are right now. As building engineers will tell you, correcting a faulty foundation takes more time, energy, and resources than laying it properly in the first place. The Bible confirms this in Psalm 11 verse 3. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? This is exactly what is playing out now among Christian parents and clergies. It seems that many of them feel powerless to influence who their child have become. This happened largely because of the foundational stage they missed. During the foundation laying stage, the scripting, the programming period of the child, many parents were absent, preoccupied with what they believe were important matters, including ministry, and their child grew up by default. This is partially responsible for the misidentity or counter behavior among children. Phototropic growth versus true success. Many parents believe that academic development and the personality of a child are keys to producing a successor. But Mahatma Gandhi said, knowledge without character is one of the deadliest social sins in the world. This is because education without character is the fastest way of raising juveniles and an unhealthy society. Also note, education without godliness raises intelligent but ungodly individuals. With all this, it does look like there is no hope. But no, there is hope. Christian parenting education is the hope. It is here to help us address the ignorance that made us, many Christian parents, miss the foundation stage of faith of our children. It will help us to rescript, reprogram, restore, repair, and reproduce a successor after our kind. Ultimately, it is the only nurturing tool to get us out of these negative and ugly narratives as Christian parents in the body of Christ. 1. A fervent parent of lukewarm children. 2. A spiritual parent of carnal children. 3. A prayerful parent of prayerless children. 4. A righteous parent of a worldly child. This is an irony and a burden we share at Christian Parenting International. However, we have taken the responsibility to correct it in the body of Christ. And we invite you to join us if you share the same burden. Stay tuned. We will stop this broadcast here and return with part 2 of Christian Parenting Education. Be sure to subscribe to Christian Parenting TV on YouTube and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss it.